The problem with the Shade Gate is that it leads to an infinity of netherworlds. Elric is distraught about this, but Arioch whispers to him to make Divim leave so they can talk. Elric tells the Lord of the Dragon Caves to leave him alone, and Arioch appears. The Chaos Lord promises he will take Elric to his cousin if Elric will get the two Rune Blades, Stormbringer and Mournblade, and become the most powerful mortal out there. This will also save Silmaril. Elric has his doubts about the two blades and their power. He asks his patron if this will also serve him, and Arioch confirms it in a way. Elric asks if his destiny can be changed, and the Chaos Lord says that no more than his can. In the end, Elric agrees. Arioch can't hold the gate open for much longer, and he does so in secret because Irkun thinks he closed it behind him. Divine comes back at Elric's request, and Elric tells him he will chase after his cousin, alone. Divine and the rest of the men will go back to Imrir, and if he isn't back in a reasonable time, then name Silmaril as Empress. And if she is not awake, Divine has to rule as regent until she wakes up. And now there is no turning back. Not for Divine Var, not for Elric. With his destiny forged 1,000 times over, forced eternally to be the champion of a cause he does not know, he walks through the gate. He enters a world of shadow, desolate and empty, a battlefield where once law and chaos fought and left nothing standing. Elric looked at the portal that closed behind him and knew regrets had no place here. Irkun was nowhere in sight. Elric thought he might have had the steed prepared or he appeared elsewhere. Elric felt as if he was underwater and he could barely see in front of him. Like pulled by strings, he went to a bunch of trees that still stood there. When his cloak touched one branch, it turned to dust. He continues to walk and passes a rock. Strange sounds come from a cave. Elric tries to present himself, but whoever was there shoots an arrow at him. Elric dodges, or technically the arrow doesn't hit him. The man from the cave says that was not meant to hurt him, but display his skill because he had his fill of demons in this land. Elric says he is mortal and that he is no demon, but when he presented himself, he said he is Elric from Melniboné, and the man has heard of that place, an island of demons. Elric says only the ignorant refer to them as demons. The man says he is not ignorant. He is a former warrior priest from Fum that once served the Chaos Lords, but stopped and they banished him there. The man asks if Elric suffered the same fate as him. Elric says he is on a quest and he plans to return once he is done. The man didn't know leaving this world was a possibility or an option. Elric says he is not sure if it is, but he will risk it. The warrior asks Elric if he plans to fight him, and the Emperor tells him he plans to fight only one person in this world. We then learn Fum is one of the oldest of the Young Kingdoms, way to the east, past the Weeping Waste and the Sighing Desert. The man comes out and presents himself as Rakhir, the Red Archer, because of the clothes he wears, a form of tradition for the priesthood of Fum and one of the only things he still respects. The archer proposes a deal to Elric. Since Rakhir has nothing to do in this realm and wants to leave, and Elric has a quest, the archer will help the Emperor, and when the time comes for Elric to leave, he will have to take Rakhir with him. Elric agrees if it is possible to take the archer with him. The archer says that is reasonable enough, and asks what is Elric looking for. The Emperor tells his new companion that he is looking for 2 rune blades that can be found in the pulsing cavern, which can be reached through the tunnel under the marshes. The archer has no idea about any of those places or the swords, but he remembers he read something in a book once. Elric mentions the Chronicles of the Black Sword that talks about their creation, and it comes with this feature of revealing the destiny of the one who holds the blade. Rakhir doesn't know about that either, but the people of the city of Ameron might know. Elric is surprised to find out there is a city in this world. The archer confirms that he stayed there, but he found it unbearable and went into the wild. When asked why, the archer answered because it's an unhappy place, filled with exiles, refugees, or travelers between worlds, a true city of the damned. Elric asks the archer about the nature of this world. Rakhir tells him about 2 theories. One, that it's a sphere buried under an infinity rock, or that it's their/our world in the future when the universe ends. But those are not the only theories spoken of in the city of Amaron. Rakir has a philosophical exchange that Elric remarks, but the archer says it's this thinking that made him not follow the Chaos Lords. Rakir says he heard of this city called Tanelor, back in their world, a city in the Sighing Desert where people are content to just live. If possible, the archer would want to live there, to see it. As he puts it, sometimes legends are best left as legends, so they move on to Amaron. Once they reach the city, Elric feels the stench of it and sees that it's a city of different architectural styles of ruin and semi-ruin. Elric asks for an inn, but Rakir tells him there are none. There's no town square either. People from different worlds and times have created their own places and live off one another. A den of degeneracy and decay. Sometimes making trade with demons, lesser minions of chaos, sometimes former sorcerers that have traded their soul to chaos. The two talk a little more about the nature of chaos and how Elric should know about how risky deals with chaos really are. They move on and Rakir says he knows an old man. From a dark cave, a tusked pig-like creature rears his head out and says pig, pig, pig. Elric isn't sure if it's describing itself or insulting him. Then another creature appears saying snake, a humanoid with a bunch of snakes for a head. All of them saying snake. Pig creatures in armor appear and the monstrosity that says stink comes with them. So now our heroes must fight their way out of this place where a creature can only say what it is. Elric fights the thing and he wonders if this is his fate in the end, to become a mindless demon creature. But he continues to slice at the thing. Then the more he slices it, the quieter it gets. A man climbs some ruins and is using magic to help Elric. He screams at Elric to finish the monster, and Elric does so. Before dying, the thing says Frank. Elric wonders if that is its name, or was its name once, but none can really tell. Elric asks if his companion is alright, and he is. He then asks who the old man is and why did he help him, and he says he saw a tall one tell the demons to attack them. He didn't think it fair, so he jumped in to absorb some power from the thing, and that made him feel better than ever, saying that Ninwin's sorcery still works here. The archer and the old man have seen each other before, and they know each other. The old man is named Ninwin who knew all. He wanted to know everything, so Orland of the Staff sent him to this place until he forgot everything to show him the error of his way. He knows of Elric and the Black Sword and his destiny, but when Elric asks him about his destiny, Ninwin says he forgot. Elric tries to be more pushy, Ninwin continues saying he forgot, and finally Rakir just says he just simply forgot. There's no point in asking for more. Nevertheless, when asked about the marsh and the tunnels, he gives them directions before forgetting everything. The two companions leave him alone. Rakir says he envies him, but Elric says he pities him. When asked why, Elric says that once he will forget everything, he may well forget to live Amaron. Rakir appreciates the joke and asks if all his thoughts are so hopeless. They do tend in that direction. They reach the swamp and the monument that Ninwin told them about. Finding the tunnel would be the hard part though. Elric presumes that his cousin has some sorcerer's aid to help him. Rakir asks if he can do the same. Elric can summon demons. Irkun was the one with all the spells and so on. This was not helped by Elric's waning power. Elric somehow sees a black road, and while it will regularly look like a trap, they have nothing to lose. So they start walking, and the road becomes slippery. Elric falls into the marsh, and the marsh wants to eat him whole. Rakir manages to save him by using his bow to pull him out. This is a really great moment of brotherhood between the two. After Elric is saved, he tells the archer he owes him his life and will do everything in his power to take the archer from this world. Rakir says Elric is a man, and there are very few of those in any world. True. They continue the path by walking on their knees, which was the safer option, until they reach their destination.